Welcome to our program. I'm Andy LeGrand. Today's program will take us safely to new heights. When our work takes us off the ground, the method of getting there is most often the ladder, an ancient tool, thousands of years old, and a solid workhorse, a trusted companion. Ladders give us great reach, allowing us to work comfortably at heights well off the ground. Where would we be without them? Well, we'd be a lot shorter, that's for sure, but we'd also be a lot less efficient. No ancient secret to speak of. A ladder gets us from here to there. It's so simple, it's nearly perfect. And when used correctly, the ladder guarantees a safe trip. But we must be careful. For those workers who forget and leave safety behind them on the ground, there's always the danger of falling, and accidents can lead to serious injury. So let's take a look at the intelligent use of ladders. Your ladder should be treated with respect, just like any other tool. Read the manufacturer's instructions. This will reveal the many safeguards you need to consider. Remember that there are many types of ladders. Examining the job you are about to do will tell you which ladder you should use. The weight capacity of your ladder must be considered. The manufacturer's instructions will tell you how much the ladder will safely support. Remember, to total up the weight of your load, you'll need to add the weight of both your tools and supplies to what you weigh. The material a ladder is made of is important. Metal ladders should not be used near power lines or electrical wiring. If there's a cable problem and live current hits the metal, you could get a real shock. A non-conducting fiberglass or wooden ladder is much more appropriate for work around electricity. Before using your ladder, you should check out its condition. The rungs should be undamaged and firm to the touch. They'll need to support a lot of weight. The base of the ladder should have safety feet to prevent slipping. Make sure that any moving parts like ropes, pulleys, and locking mechanisms are in good working condition. These are some of the basics of finding the right ladder for the job. If you have any questions, see your supervisor. Now that we've laid the groundwork, let's look at some specifics of ladder safety. Extension ladders are valuable for reaching very high levels. We must be careful, though, not to pull them up too high. The sections must overlap by at least 3 rungs to safely support your weight. The top of your ladder must clear a supporting roof or platform by 3 rungs. This will help keep the ladder from pulling away from the roof as you climb. A safe climbing angle is important. If your ladder lies at too small an angle, you could fall backwards as you climb. We need to follow the 4-to-1 rule. If you're putting a ladder against a wall, for instance, the base of the ladder must be 1 foot away from the wall for every 4 feet of working ladder height. A label is sometimes provided to help you with this positioning. The base of the ladder must be placed on solid, level ground. Otherwise, the ladder could tip sideways. If the ladder is leaning to one side, level out the ground with a sturdy board. Use wide boards to steady up a ladder that is resting on soft dirt. Be careful when moving an already extended ladder. Its length could make the weight hard to handle. You could lose your balance. The safest idea is to take the ladder down before moving it. Carry it horizontally and keep the load balanced at your side. If the ladder is too long or heavy, ask someone to lend a hand. Step ladders are generally used for jobs that are closer to the ground. However, solid positioning is still of vital importance. Make sure to lock the spreaders before climbing and check the condition of the braces. These keep the rails from pulling apart. Be careful when using a step ladder or any ladder in front of a doorway. Don't allow someone to come barreling through while you're working. Block or lock the entrance. Fixed ladders can be slippery from years of dirt and grime. Thoroughly check them out before climbing. Keep them clean and check for signs of rust or other damage on the rungs and safety cage. If you spot problems with your ladder that you can't solve yourself, see your supervisor. Now, it's finally time to get off the ground. The grip is all important. Check your shoes for oil or other slippery substances. That goes for your hands and the ladder rungs as well. Not having a good grip could mean a nasty fall, tools, materials, and all. When manpower permits, make use of the buddy system. This is where someone holds the bottom of the ladder for you so it won't slip. If you don't have a helper, anchor the ladder at the top with rope. Use hazard signs to keep other workers from bumping into your ladder. The safest way to go up is with a three-point climb. While you're moving, keep 2 hands and a foot, or 1 hand and 2 feet in contact with the ladder at all times. Always keep your body facing the rungs, with your hands on the side rails. Don't rush yourself. When you're on your way back down, never jump off or slide to the ground. Keeping your weight centered between the side rails will help you avoid a fall. Practice the all-important belt buckle rule. To maintain your center of gravity, simply keep your belt buckle between the rails. You can lose your balance if you're perched too close to the top of a ladder and you lean back. Never stand on the top 4 rungs of an extension ladder or the top 2 rungs of a step ladder. If you need to move higher, then find a taller ladder. Putting more than one person on the same ladder is sheer foolishness. Another worker moving around will make it hard for you to keep your balance. Never allow anyone to stand on the back braces of a step ladder. Wear a tool belt to carry up small tools, then wait until you're at the top before hauling up larger tools and materials. These can throw your climbing off balance. Make use of clip-on paint trays and tool holders. They can really come in handy. Be careful not to drop anything. A falling hammer or screwdriver could put a monkey wrench in the health of someone walking below. If you're leaving the area, take your ladder down. You don't want unauthorized people or neighborhood kids to go climbing around on it. Some conditions make it unwise or impossible for you to climb. It's just too risky. Here are a few situations that warrant your being grounded. Bad weather is one. It can make climbing a ladder downright dangerous. Rain and wind can threaten your safety. Many illnesses make climbing difficult. They can throw your balance off. Never climb when you're taking medication that could make you drowsy. These situations demand that you keep your feet firmly planted on the ground. But what happens when someone is climbing and an accident occurs? A slip and fall. Well, that's the time when you have to think fast. If there's an accident, remember that the victim is counting on you to do the right thing. A fall can very easily break bones or cause a back injury or concussion. Never move the person unless their lives are immediately threatened by staying in the area. Moving them could make their injuries much worse. Call immediately for medical help. Keep tabs on the victim's breathing. If there's any bleeding, work to stop it with compresses. You may need to treat the victim for shock. We hope you'll never have to use this first aid information, but it's always best to be prepared. Taking a first aid course would make you a valuable asset in an emergency. Well, we've done it. We're at the end of our program. Let's review how to safely use our old friend, the ladder. Pick the right ladder for the job, read the manufacturer's instructions, and check the weight capacity. Examine the ladder before using it. Take care of any needed repairs. Position your ladder correctly. Remember the 4-to-1 rule. Climb with safety in mind. Secure the ladder and use the 3-point climb. And finally, learn first aid so you'll be prepared in case of an accident. Following the guidelines we talked about today will keep your friendship with ladders a stable one. See you around.